Alright guys, what's up? Welcome back to the video. Before we get started, I got a great video for you guys today. I got a whole bunch of hats, keychains, stickers. I bundled them all together for a great value. It's on my website. I'm not going to be using the Saddleman white seat. I just love the black seat so much. So that's on my website as well. Also got an awesome pair of bags for long trips. They are in like brand new condition. I have also a high gloss black inner fairing, bunch of cargo racks, just a bunch of stuff that I just got to get rid of. I don't have enough room here in my small garage. So I got all the stuff on the website. If you're interested, go check it out. Get yourself a hat, some stickers, and a keychain. Appreciate it. Also, if you guys are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because when I'm at Daytona at the Chromeworks rig, we are going to be picking somebody as a thank you to show you guys how much I appreciate you guys. We're going to be picking somebody for that 2-into-2 Chromeworks exhaust, black chrome, pair of Indy Ridge boots and gloves, and a set of Zero 3D bag blades. So stay tuned for that. But let's get into the video. So Professional Monkey actually put out an awesome video the other day, and he just purchased, I'm sure you guys watch him. If not, definitely check out his channel. He's got some great content and an awesome live stream. Him and his wife always hit this damn thing. I gotta place it somewhere else. But he's got a great live stream with him and his wife on Friday, so definitely check them out. But I want to reiterate and kind of touch base on a few things and let you guys know why I purchased the Standard. Because his video, I believe the title was, did I make the right decision buying a Special, I guess, instead of the Standard? And it was a good video, but a lot of you guys have asked me, like in the past, why did I go with the Standard? And I have mentioned it, but I want to kind of dive a little bit deeper into it. I want to give you guys some numbers. Let me go grab that, because I actually have some numbers jotted down here, so this way I could tell you guys like how much some of this stuff costs. I know you guys are gonna say, hey, well, you didn't buy none of this stuff like your sponsors. Yeah, I understand that, and I do totally appreciate that from my sponsors and from the companies that support the channel. But I'm gonna try to help you guys out in making the right decision. Should you get a Standard or should you get a Special? So let's go over really quick. I'm not gonna go into every detail, but from what I know, let's go over basically what are the differences between the Standard and the Special. Well, the big elephant in the room, it's $6,000 difference, right? So that's the biggest difference. It is $6,000 more. Standard $22,000, Special $28,000. That goes for the Street Glide or the Road Glide. Now, I'm not really going to bring in the Road King, because the Road King, for now, they're not making the Standard anymore. It's only the Special. So we're going to be talking about, and that I believe is like 23, 24. I'm basically going to be primarily talking about Street Glides and Road Glides. $6,000 difference. So what's different? On the Special, you get the nicer wheels, right? And this is all subjective. I think they're nicer, right? But you get the different wheels on the Special. You get the 114 instead of the 107, okay? Suspension is the same. Bars are the same. Crash bar is different. On the Standard, you get that big elephant ear crash bar. On the Special, you get the nice cut one like that's on the CVO. Suspension is the same. Bars are the same. Tanks, I believe the filler's on the right instead of in the middle. Again, those little changes don't have nothing to do with performance or handling or comfort or anything like that. What else? The inner fairing is a high gloss black. I believe it's a different stereo system from what Professional Monkey said. Different speaker grills here. Stuff like that. So that's what you're paying $6,000 more for. So this is my take on it. And this is why I want to tell you guys, I want to try to help you guys make the right decision. And this is kind of my take on it, what my thought process was, okay, buying the Road Glide Standard instead of the Special for $6,000 more. I'm also going to knock CVOs out of the question, because for me, when I've ridden the brand new CVO at Sturgis last year, I honestly love that bike. It's beautiful. For me, I wouldn't purchase that bike and start dismantling it. I would only probably change out the bars and the suspension. That's it. And that's all I would change. I would keep that bike and honestly not put a lot of miles on it, only because it's CVO. It's got the CVO VIN number. It's worth more. It retains the value more. So that's why I probably would just do the bars and the suspension. So I'm going to leave CVOs out of it too. But anyway, why did I purchase the standard over the special? So obviously you guys know Silverback. That was a special. We put about 25,000 miles on that bike in about 14 months. We put a lot of miles on. So I knew with my next build, my next bike, I'm going to be putting on probably the same amount of miles, if not more miles on this bike. So I knew I wanted it more comfortable. I knew I wanted more power. I knew I wanted it to handle better. I knew I wanted it to accelerate better. I wanted to try to get it a little lighter, right? So I knew I was going to be changing out a whole bunch of things. But let's start off with the back of the bike, with the bags. Oh, right, the bags are different on the special. The bags are a stretched bag, and on the standard are the short bags. So that's where we're going to start with this video. These are the reasons why I purchased the standard. I knew right off the get-go that I wanted the Outlaw 2-into-1 pipe. I knew I wanted that exhaust. And my opinion, if you have stretched bags with two cutouts in the back, that bike needs a proper dual exhaust. It looks silly in my eyes if you only have one pipe out the back and then the other cutout is empty. That's why a lot of people put the ghost pipe, but then you're adding weight that you really don't need onto the bike, right? So that's one of the reasons I wanted short bags. So the standard comes with short bags. Reason number one. Okay, so now let's go to number two. The suspension from a standard to a special is absolutely identical. They have to be changed, so no matter what, regardless, whether I got the standard or whether I got the special, they were going to be changed. So that had no bearing on my decision. Number two, the bar setup. Again, just like with the suspension, no matter what, I was going to be changing out the bars, whether it was a standard or a special. For me, the stock bars are uncomfortable, especially because I'm 6'2" tall. They just feel like they're up to my chest. They feel really close. No matter what, I was going to replace them. I'm not going to include the seat, regardless whether it's a standard or a special. I'm not going to include the seat, the levers, the Memphis Shades handguards, or the windshield, because no matter what, standard or special, I was going to replace it. And I think you guys would probably do the same thing. Another thing, the crash bar made no difference, no bearing on my decision. The standard comes with the big crash bar. Special does come with the nice short one. If that's what you guys want, that looks great. But I knew I was going to put the Santoro Fabrics crash bar on, all right? So that made no decision, no bearing whatsoever on my decision. Now, the wheels on a special are nicer. I definitely 100% agree with that. The standard wheels with the aluminum showing with the clear coat, they tend definitely to pit after a while, right? But for $6,000, that had no bearing on my decision to buy a standard or a special, because I'm going to tell you in a couple days when my wheels are back, because they're out right now, I'm sure you guys know, getting them powder coated in a super chrome, how inexpensive it actually is. It is senseless to go buy a brand new set of wheels for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Once you find out how much the powder coating costs, it is only a fraction of the cost of a set of new wheels. And you could get them powder coated any color you want. They probably have 10, 20, 30,000 different colors to choose from prismatic powders. So the wheels made no difference or bearing in my decision. So suspension was going to be changed regardless, front and back. I was going to do that anyway. I was going to change the seat, the levers, the Memphis Shane's handguards, the Clockworks windshield. No matter what, I was going to do that. So again, made no bearing whether I bought a standard or a special. So I'm really not going to be talking about the mid controls because again, I don't feel that's like a necessary thing, even though I love it and I wouldn't change it for the world. I would definitely put the mid controls on my next bike, whenever that is. I just love that, but I don't feel that is something that is like necessary. So then what is the main thing? What is the elephant in the room? What is the main thing why people, and I know this to be fact, I know this to be true, what is the main reason people are buying the special? Let's be honest. They're buying the special for the 114. I know that because I ask people, I talk to people, I see people at rallies, I talk to my buddies, I talk to people at Bikes and Breakfasts, and anywhere I talk to people and see people, they just purchased a brand new special. Why did you buy the special? Because it's got the 114. We know that. We know that to be true. It's not because the gas cap filler is over here. It's not because, the inner fairing is gloss black. People are purchasing the special for the 114. So let's talk about that. If that is the only reason why you're spending $6,000 more for a 114 over the 107, that's not a good enough reason. And I'm going to tell you why. I've seen the 107 stock 114s, 117s on the dyno over by Dave many, many times. The 107 wheel horsepower pushes out about 78, I want to say, horsepower. Again, every bike is different. I'm giving you guys kind of a rough idea. Around 78 rear wheel horsepower, okay? The 114 probably puts out, I'm going to say roughly anywhere from 3 to 5 horsepower difference more than a 107 and a couple more foot-pounds of torque. So you're going to be able, obviously, to tell on the dyno. Is your butt dyno going to know the difference? I highly doubt it. If two bikes, the same exact bikes, but one is a 107 and one is a 114, and you got two identical rider weights, okay, if they weigh the same and both hit the gas, the one with the 114, honestly, it's going to pull very, very slowly ahead of the 107. It's going to be very, very minimal. We're not talking about a 20, 30, 40 horsepower difference. So why are you spending $6,000 more for a 114? Now, if you get a stage 2 like this bike, S&S 475 cam, high flow air breather, exhaust, custom dyno tune, this bike right here on the dyno is pushing out 116 horsepower to the rear wheel and about 117 foot-pounds of torque. So now if you have a 114 with the S&S 475 cam exhaust, same thing as the 107, as my bike here. I had that on Silverback, and those numbers are about 118, 119 horsepower, only 3 horsepower more. You get a little bit more torque, maybe about 8 foot-pounds of torque more. But again, are you going to notice that on the highway? Or is your butt dyno really going to be able to tell? I highly doubt it. And again, if you have the same bikes with the stage 2 done, same camshaft, same exhaust, same air breather, same tune, are you really going to fly past the guy with a 107 stage 2? Absolutely not. 100%. And if you're the guy on a 114 and you weigh 60 pounds more than the guy on a 107, chances are the lighter guy on the 107 is going to pull on you even though he has less horsepower and less torque. That's just how it is. So again, why are you spending $6,000 more for a special? And like I said, and I say this again, because that is the main reason why people are purchasing the specials over the standard. So let me give you an example. I knew when I was purchasing this bike, I knew my idea, I was going to put a lot of miles on it. I wanted the bike more comfortable. I wanted the handlebars different. And obviously that's for comfort. That's for performance as far as handling, going around turns, stuff like that. I wanted the bike to handle better as far as better suspension. I wanted more power. And don't forget, you're getting almost like a 40 horsepower jump only on a stage 2, which is almost 50% gain. 40, I guess, 40 and change. So that's huge. So I wanted the bike to be more comfortable, handle better with the suspension. That also helps with braking because the nose doesn't dive down. And I wanted it to be super, super reliable. So that's why the 114 made absolutely no bearing on my decision because I know the numbers. I know what they put out from a 107 to a 114. Now, if the special, for instance, had a 117, well, that would be a different story because they do put out a lot of power with the stage 2, quite significant, but still, is it worth the $6,000, or I should say, would it be worth the $6,000 more? I really don't think so. So let me go over the numbers and tell you guys basically what you can do with that $6,000. I'm going to basically go over the same setup I have on my bike. And a lot of you guys have been asking me to do this. Like, what does this cost? What does that cost? Well, I'm not going to go over, because right now I have the entire kit, which includes the triple tree, but you guys don't need that. But what I will include is this. Kraus Pro Kit 12-inch. That would include the 8-inch kickback riser and the ODI bar. All right, that gives you a 12-inch rise, same as setup as I have on my bike. $1,124. You don't have to go. Another question, you do not have to go with the back canisters with the external reservoirs. You could just get yourself a set of Legend rear shocks. They work just as good. That $1,000. You could get yourself a set of front Axio cartridges by Legend Suspension, $900. Outlaw 2-into-1 exhaust, $1,200. S&S 475 cam, $206. A custom dyno tune by a reputable tuner, $500. So right there you got the bar set up, you got the suspension all worked out, and you have all your components for your engine. Add another couple hundred for an air breather. Let's just say $5,000 total, okay? And you have all the components for your stage 2. You don't have to, on a newer bikes, 2020 and forward, oil pump is fine. But if you have 2020 prior, 19 or 18, you should definitely replace the oil pump because I do believe what Dave said that they were having issues with the oil pumps and he recommends them changing it. But if you have a newer bike, you need nothing else for a stage 2. So all those parts, $5,000. Now, if you could do all this work yourself, other than taking it and getting the bike tuned, $5,000. $5,000. And you still have $1,000 to get your seat, your levers, your hand guards, and possibly your windshield for $6,000. Think about that. Now, if you can't do all the work yourself, then say another $1,000 to $1,500 for labor, for installation. You're still at only around $6,500. So you tell me, would you want this setup as I have on Mad Max, right? Bars, suspension, everything else, right? I mean, because like I said, you're still going to change the seat. You're still going to do the levers, the handguards, the windshield, the crash bar maybe. You're still going to do all that, right? So if wheels really don't matter to you, but like I said, you can't get them powder coated, but if the wheels really don't make that deciding factor for you and you want performance modifications done to your bike, $6,500 is a no-brainer. Right? You get this instead of a special that comes right out the showroom floor. So if you do buy the special, if you still want to do all this work that I just mentioned, stage 2, suspension, bars, then you're going to be at, let me see, then you're going to be at $34,000. You get my point? So does it really make sense? The last thing I will say is if you want to do big bore kit, on the 107, S&S actually makes a kit, a 129 kit. That is the biggest kit that you could possibly put on your 107. If you want to do 131, you're going to have the 114. But again, if you have a 107 with a 129 or a 114 with a 131, what do you think the horsepower differences are going to be with the stage 4 setup? They're still only going to be, again, if you have the same camshaft, same exhaust, but just the difference between a 129 and a 131, what do you think the differences are going to be? Is that going to be the deciding factor whether you go 107 or 114? That's crazy because the differences again are minimal. You're only talking about maybe 5 horsepower, a couple foot-pounds of torque from a 129 to a 131. They're not huge differences. Your butt dyno will not be able to tell, nor will you even be able to tell on the highways. You're not going to be blowing past somebody just because you have a 131 and he's got a 129. The differences are minimal. So if you want to spend $6,000 more just to say, yeah, mine's a 114 and pump your chest, so be it. That's fine, whatever you want to do. But I just wanted to bring this video to you guys so you place your hard-earned money in the right places. So a couple other things I do want to add on to this video is that the 107 is super reliable, absolutely reliable. With the stage 2 setup like it is here, it really is super reliable. The only thing I realized after this stage 2 that I did to Mad Max that I never had a problem with on previous bikes with stage 2s is this clutch for some reason did not hold up. But that there is a simple fix. I have the Evolution Industries clutch system on this entire basket. They're hardened ramp and the product is absolutely bulletproof for 200 horsepower. They supplied me with that, but you don't really have to go obviously with this, but I would highly recommend going to your Harley Davidson dealer, and if you do install a stage 2 on your bike, do yourself a favor and get the Screaming Eagle heavy duty clutch springs. There's 3 of them, and install them, and that should prevent you from having any slippage or any issues with the clutch, because once your clutch starts slipping and the frictions and steels start getting glazed over, the clutch is fried, the clutch is done. You can't do nothing about it after that point, and then you will have to replace the entire clutch. All right guys, the next video I'm actually going to be putting out is I want to go over as far as if you go big bore kit, with my experience on Silverback with the 128 and 130, I'm going to put out a video exactly what I think that you need to do, what the weakest links are, stuff like that on your bike if you go big bore kit. If you've never seen me on Silverback doing the 30,000 miles last year, check out this video right here. It's pretty cool. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Love all you guys.